Class 9 students, I know you guys are waiting for your books, but here we are with the second important chapter of your book, part 1 book, that is Shaping of Earth's Surface. And you might be thinking, ma'am, how? Because your ma'am has researched a lot, seeing your academic curriculum and figured out what this chapter will be and the contents in the chapter. The same chapter we dealt in one shot. Now it is the high time we should revise it in just 30 minutes. So come on, let's start the chapter. Let's take out the name first, that is Shaping of the Earth's Surface. So we know, guys, that over the Earth's surface there are different types of landforms. Somewhere there are mountains, somewhere there are plateaus, somewhere there are oceans, and somewhere we can figure out there are uneven landforms. Okay, so the landforms in the entire Earth is not same, and that uneven landform has some reasons behind it. That is what the chapter is all about. So when you were in class 6, the first thing that you learned was the interiors of the Earth. You guys are aware about that. If we talk about Earth, we live where? At the top layer of the Earth. And Earth's surface has how many layers, bacha? There are 3 layers. The topmost layer where humans live is referred as crust. It is referred as crust because that is the solid layer. That is the solid layer which facilitates what? The growth of humans. So it is the outermost as well as the thinnest layer. Pay attention that this layer is quite uneven, where somewhere there are landforms, that means there are land, and there are oceans too. However, below ocean, what lies exactly? The land only. Okay, getting my point? The next layer, see in the picture, after this crust, when you go in between the center of the Earth, now you will find second layer, that is mantle. Why are we considering it as a different layer, beta? Because of its composition. If we see that this layer is thicker than the crust. Why? Because it consists of molten and semi-molten magma. Like if you burn plastic, right, you will not see a liquid in that is semi-molten liquid. Similar type of liquid is present in this second layer of the earth crust, which is referred as mantle. Achha, do you guys know that between this crust and mantle there is a semi-molten layer, we can call it as a thin layer, that is referred as asthenosphere. That is referred as asthenosphere, and it is said that the crust is floating over it, and at the center there is a core. This core with high temperature, high pressure, and is referred as what? Innermost layer. We also call it Nephe. Why do we call it Nephe? Because it consists of nickel as well as iron. One quick question to all the students out there, because you already studied this in class 6 and 7. Tell me, what do you mean by Sial and Sima? And which layer do we call Sial and Sima? So this is basically the interiors of the earth. Now you might be thinking, ma'am, the chapter's name is Shaping of the Earth Crust. How internal structure of the earth is affecting the shapes outside? It is affecting, beta, because let me tell you, the crust you just saw, right? The crust you just saw is not a single plate of landforms. Then what it is? It is divided into different plates. Pay attention. It is divided into different plates, bacha. In these plates, certain plates are referred as major plates. There are 7 in number. However, there are a lot of plates which are minor plates. Pay attention to this thing. All these plates are floating over what, my dear students? Asthenosphere. And this asthenosphere is same what? Molten magma. So basically, if we see an ocean or a river, okay, take an example of a river. You keep a wooden block over it. Will it float? Yes, because of its light weight. Similarly, above the asthenosphere, these plates are floating, and in this floating, what happens? Sometimes this plate collide with each other, resulting into what? Different landform. When 2 different plates of land will collide with each other, what will happen? Blast will happen. We will see how landforms are formed by this process. Sometimes it's divided into 2 plates and move away from each other. or sometimes it's just crushing over like this. So this is known as theory of plate tectonics, which resulted into formation of Earth's surface. So basically, my dear students, I will tell you the major plates. Like, see, this North American plate, this is South American plate, this we call as African plate, this is Eurasian plate where we cover Europe and Asia, and then we have Australian plate. However, it is together known as Indian plate plus Australian plate is together known as Indo-Austrian plate. Let me tell you a brief example of this, Bacha. What happened? We are aware that if you go to the theory of plate tectonic, you will understand that there was Earth surface. Some centuries back, there was Earth surface in which there was only land and water. Pangea plus Panthalas. Pangea was all land and Panthalassa was all water. Then what happened? Because Earth was rotating constantly, this land surface broke up into two landforms. The landforms in the north one was known as Laurasia. However, the southern was known as Gondwana, which led to different or further divisions, resulted into the formation of major and minor plates. So, bacha, these plates are moving constantly because of the movement of the Earth's surface, right? So, one such example is that this Austrian plate was moving upward and this Eurasian plate was moving southward. When both these plates collided with each other, what happened? It resulted into the formation of the great Himalayan mountains, right? And it is known as fold mountains. In this entire chapter, we will understand that thoroughly. So this was just the starting that yes, theory of plate tectonics or the interiors of the earth somewhere affects what? Formation of landforms. Let's talk about types of plate movements. There are three types of plate movements. First one is divergent. What happened in divergent movement? Two plates move away from each other. What happened? Two plates move away from each other. The second one is convergent movement. Two plates collide with each other and leads to a new landform like mountains. The next one is transform movement. No landform is created, no is destroyed. Like in divergent movement, the landform is destroyed. And when two landforms separate from each other, diverge from each other, a gap is built up here and valleys are majorly formed here. Like mountains are formed in the convergent movement. Get it, my dear students? Very good. In the world, there are a lot of examples of such landforms we are going to study. So, this was about the effect or impact of interiors of the earth in leading to what? Formation of the earth's surface. Now, we are moving towards the exteriors, the factors affecting the exterior earth surfaces, in which the first one is beta weathering. Now, what is this weathering? See, weathering happens when it is a process basically in which rocks are being broken down into pieces at the same places where they are. Like if we talk about, if we talk about earth crust, right? What is earth crust? It is the solid material. And in that solid material, when it breaks down, becomes the rocks. When this rock breaks down a lot into fine grain material, forms the soil. So, isn't it a process? Yes. In that process, the first process is weathering. This is a rock, for example, because of any reason. I'm going to tell you the reasons by the way. But because of any reason, at the same place, at the main point is what? At the same place when this rock breaks down, this process is known as weathering. You might have seen a lot of times that there are breakages between the rocks, right? The types of weathering are physical weathering. May be possible that it is caused due to any pressure, created by running water force. See how Ganga with huge pressure flows daily. If there is a rock on its way and constantly the pressure is over there, yes, there can be cracks developed at the same place. Weathering, physical weathering, that means due to any physical reason like water, running water, glacier, rainfall, etc. The second one is chemical weathering because of any chemical, and the third one is biological weathering. Like we have seen, there are large roots of trees sometimes grab the rocks in a way and get it into break down into two pieces. These are known as bacha what? Weathering. We know the uses of it is also there. It helps in the soil formation because whenever these rocks will break down, it will facilitate the formation of soil, right? It breaks into pieces, okay? Helps in releasing minerals because these rock contains bacha what? Minerals. And creates natural landforms like caves, arches or arcs or valleys. This is how the different landforms are formed. So one example of landform is weathering. Formation of landform is weathering. Now we are moving towards the second process, that is erosion. Now what is erosion? See, it is a process. Pay attention to it. There is a huge difference between weathering and erosion, but sometimes when we write the answers, we mix them up. See, now what is erosion? Bacha, it is a process in which that weathered material, what is weathered material? That rock that broke down now move from one place to another. It is transported from one place to another by certain natural agents. What are the agents? Running water, glaciers, wind, waves, ocean currents, etc. Ma'am, what is this? We are getting confused, beta. See, what happened? There are rocks, like in the mountains there are rocks. For example, Ganga is coming from where? Gangotri glacier. It is coming from Gangotri glacier, passing through those mountains. In that mountain there was a rock that broke into two pieces, right? After that it loses its strength. What happened? It flows with the running water, that river Ganga, and in the meanwhile, with the effect of lot of pressure colliding with different rocks, pressure by the water, it get what? Broken up into more pieces, transported by the river, okay, taken by the river, and then it reached somewhere. That process is known as deposition. This entire process is known as erosion. So what is the erosion? Weathered rock, right? It is carried from one place to another, transported from one place to another with several natural agents like running water, glacier, wind, waves, ocean current. This is known as erosion. For your reference, I have made this table of what? Difference between weathering and erosion. Trust me, this will be a 5-marker question in your exam. Okay, so done with weathering and erosion. Very good, Pacha. Now let's talk about the agent of degradation. Now, what is degradation? Breaking of something in your class 7th, when you were in class 7. See, I always say that the syllabus of 7 matches with 9, then it matches with class 11. So if you are someone going to take humanities, be prepared. This will be the context in your 11th class too. Now coming towards the agent of degradation, the agent which leads to this process of erosion, we call them what? Agent of degradation. The first one is running water. Beta, however, a detailed picture is there about what are the landforms formed by running water. I will give you a brief intro about them. Like if I talk about running water, we see that there is a delta formed because of deposition. Like the long rivers Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra brought all the sediments together with them and get it deposited at the mouth of the river. What happened? What will form? Delta. We know that the delta is known as the world's largest delta. Name it right now in the comment section. Which delta is known as the largest delta in the world? In India, formed by river Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra. Similarly, we have lot of other landforms like alluvial plain. Beta, how is alluvial plain formed? Similarly, there is dunes. Dunes are highlands formed by the sediments brought down by the rivers, and from this dunes come Dehradun. Getting my point? So similarly, lot of landforms are formed by running water. Now if we talk about wind, So wind also carries those loose sediments which are not holded by moisture in the soil. Like the best example of a landform formed by wind will be sand dunes. So when you go into the desert region, you will see that this wind carries the loose grains with them, get it deposited, forming small mountain structure made up of that sands, known as sand dunes. Or sometimes whenever in the region where there is a lack of rainfall, it is sandy region, there are rocks, right? So that wind is coming continuously, what? Degrading the rock from beneath and hence forming mushroom rocks. One example is there also. Now if we talk about waves and ocean currents, see, caves are majorly found near the beaches. However, what is beach? Beach is also formed when the sediments are brought by these ocean currents as well as the waves. You might have seen that cliffs and all that, right? Then we have glacier. In glacier, moraines are formed and lot of features like that. We can even say glacier plain. From the glacier, when sediments are brought down and sediment deposited in a plain area, glacier plains are formed. Underground water, we have caves and all. So basically these are referred as agents of degradation. Now coming towards the main point, that is the major landforms of the earth's surface. By on the earth's surface we do not found the even landform. What do we found? Somewhere there are mountains. You guys have witnessed in India Himalayan mountains in the north, right, protecting us as a shield from the cold winds coming from China and Russia. Then we can see that Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats somewhere, according to because of the presence of Western and Eastern Ghats, the Indian monsoon is based upon. Now the second is Aravalli Mountains, oldest mountain range of India. Then we have Vindhyans and Satpura in Madhya Pradesh. So these are the mountains, yes. Then we have river plains also, beta. Now, see the situation. We have three major rivers in India: Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna. What are they doing? They are bringing the sediments from the mountains, depositing it in the nearby areas, forming one of the fertile land of India, alluvial plain. Right? That is referred as river plain. Not even only in North India, you can see the same situation by the sediments brought by river Krishna and Kaveri in the south, forming eastern coastal plains. Get it? Next is about plateau, beta. Now, what is the difference between mountains and plateaus? Mountains are basically high altitude land surface with peaks. They have the peaks. What is a plateau? They are the tabletop, flat surface, but not equal to the earth's surface. They are heighted too, but they do not have the peaks as of mountains. Like the Deccan Plateau in India, formed by what? Lava that came out of volcanic eruption. Okay, it's quick, but this is the way we revise. Next is about coastal plains. So now coastal plains are basically formed by rivers. However, why do we call it coastal plains? Because they are connected to oceans too, right? Then we have glacier plains. I told you, desert particularly, beta, the land area which have granules of rocks. However, it lacks moisture as well as moistures as well as humus content, or what we can say fertility, and hence they are loose grains. Now the last one is coastal landforms. They are formed by the intervention of rocks as well as ocean currents and winds, leading to different types of what, beta? Landforms like caves, beaches, cliffs, etc., which you usually see in the places like Goa, Gokarna, etc. Okay, so these are referred as what? Major landforms of the earth's surface. Not yet done. We have lot to study. Now we are going in detail with mountains. There are three types of mountains that are based on what? That are based upon its formation, and the formation is based upon the movement of the plate tectonic. And this is where the story began. What we studied, they are major and minor plates either colliding with each other or getting separated from each other. So my dear student, like let us take the example of first type of mountain, that is fold mountain. Like if you see this, I'll give you an example, not very accurate because I don't have the props right now. But consider this as two plates, right? If two plates are coming close to each other, they are copies by the way. So if two plates are coming close to each other, what happens? This will collide and eventually it will fold gradually. Can you see this? And this is known as what? Fold mountains. Getting the first type of mountain, that is fold mountains, when two plates collide with each other. Similarly, pay attention to this. These are again the plates which have earth crust below. When these plates will move away from each other, what will happen? Valleys formed. I can show you the valley, but in between there is no landform, right? See, I'll make the diagram to make it more clear. This was a single landform. What happened? This plate broke up. So this plate broke up and diverged with each other. Now what happened in between? The space is being formed, and that space is what, beta? Valley. And the rest, the surrounded one becomes the mountains. Now these are the mountains and these are the valleys. These are known as block mountains. Ma'am, can you tell us with the help of examples? Yes, why not? So the best example for fold mountains is Himalayan mountain ranges. I just told you that, but Austria, Indo-Austrian plate and Eurasian plate collided, leading to the formation of Himalayan mountains. Similarly, I'll tell you one best example for that. Yes, we have Vindhyan mountain ranges, Satpura mountain ranges. When the plate diverged with each other, what happened? A valley is formed in between, and in this valley, river is flowing. What's that? Narmada river. So this is the example of block mountains. The third one, we have volcanic mountains, that is the result of volcano, like Mount Fuji in Japan. Okay, so this is it. The next one is plateau. Similarly, beta plateau is a high flat top landform, as I told you, with no peak. There are two types of plateau: tectonic, basically formed by the plate movements, and the other is formed due to the volcanic activity, volcanic eruption, like Deccan Plateau. Then we have plains, low-lying flat areas. There are river plains, coastal plains, glacier plains. River plains formed by the sediments brought down by rivers. Coastal plains formed by the sediments brought down by oceans. And glacier plains, where glaciers melt and bring down along with them the sediments, breaking away from the rocks. Next one is valleys, right? You might have seen certain valleys between the mountains. These are low-lying areas found between the mountains or plateaus. According to its shapes, what we have divided it into U-shaped valley or V-shaped valley. See, this is a U-shaped valley and this is known as V-shaped valley. Whenever there is more slanting mountain, it often leads to the formation of V-shaped valley. Okay, after valley we have deserts. These are the areas with low rainfall, usually below 25 centimeter. Okay, do you sometimes think about why Thar Desert is present in India in the same latitude? Pay attention to that. If you see the map of India, na beta, if you see the map of India, like this is Rajasthan and this is Meghalaya, you will see that somewhere in the same latitude there is the most wettest place of India, and the second one is the desert of India. How come possible, bhai? It is possible. What happened now? I'll tell you completely. Okay, let's draw a quick map and see what happened actually. So, at that time, what happened, beta? Not at that time. I am making a rough, very rough map of India. Don't judge me by my drawing skills. And it is not at all disrespect to an Indian flag map. Okay, so very rough map. I know it is tilted a lot, but what I want to tell you that is, beta, see, now below we from between the earth's surface passes the Tropic of Cancer. What passes? Tropic of Cancer, and below it we have Earth, equator. So wind moves from, pay attention, wind moves from where? High pressure to low pressure. So what happens? The wind is coming like this, and in the equator it turns like this, because in the north it moves towards the right hand. This is some clear picture we will study in atmosphere and climate. Don't go to that detail. I'll tell you in another chapter. But wind moves like this. We know that the first place which gets the rainfall is Kerala. How? Because wind is directly coming from which ocean? Arabian Sea, right? With all the moisture, removing the moisture in Kerala with high rainfall. Then what happens? It will move further. Further, when it moves, it takes the moisture from which ocean? Bay of Bengal, and drops away the moisture in northeast region, and hence northeast places are wettest place in India. Then what happened? This is Himalayan mountains. Can you see this? Yes, bacha. This is Himalayan mountains which prevent these winds from moving further. So these winds collide with this, or what we can say, collide with this Himalayan mountains, and its direction changes. It is moving now along with the Himalayan mountains. But in the picture now, here comes what? Aravalli Hills. So this Aravalli Hills, what happened when these winds collide with the Aravalli Hills? Now these winds are moving via the long distance, dropping all its moisture in the form of rainfall. As it reaches Aravalli Hills, the what we can say capacity to hold moisture of this wind decreases. All the rain falls here in the region of Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, and it could not move beyond Aravalli Hills. Wind moves but not with the moisture, hence resulting into the formation of desert over here. Okay, so this was a quick revision why deserts. Desert is particularly found in India. Less rainfall, high temperature, for obvious. Okay, and the last some of the landforms are coastal landforms. Again, I told you that beta landform that is formed by the action of wind and ocean wave. Like, see, pay attention, winds are coming, taking away the ocean currents and waves. These ocean currents and waves, because beneath them is also land surface and around them is also land surface. Land surface made up of rocks. That rocks get weathered and eroded by the action, continuous action of waves and ocean currents. What happened? Brought the sediments along with them and get it deposited, which leads to the formation of different type of surface. Like here there is a picture. See, this is a beautiful picture consisting all the landforms formed by coastal or ocean waves and currents. See beta, this is an ocean, right? This is an ocean bringing all the sediments, small granular sediments, depositing forming into what? Beaches. We go and enjoy. So how these beaches are formed? Like this. Like this particular ocean is what? Coming with current, with waves, that means with pressure, right? Again and again it is colliding with a rock, leading to its breakage. Okay, breakage is done. Only a single pillar is there, and this pillar is known as what? Stack, sea stack, right? Sometimes what happened, if this particular rock is soft, it gets what? Broken away, leading to the formation of sea arc. This is known as what, bacha? Sea arc. And here somewhere inside it is formed what? Sea cave. Similarly, we have sea cliff, and this is how different type of what beta landforms are formed because of oceans, currents as well as waves. I hope this is quite easily understandable to you with the help of that. Now, because of this continuous endogenic as well as exogenous forces. So what is endogenic forces? Forces beneath the earth's surface. What are exogenic forces? Forces above the earth's surface. Because of those endogenic and exogenic forces, sometimes it leads to the formation of land surface or destruction of land surface. In this, there is one more thing, that are natural disasters, right? Natural disasters such as earthquake. What is earthquake? Sudden shaking of the earth's surface that is caused due to the movements of plates. Those tectonic plates are moving. when they converge with each other, will shaking happen? Yes, and that is earthquake. Landslides, the rapid movement of rock, soil and debris. Like if we always say a statement that the Himalayan mountains are prone to landslides. Why we call it, beta? Because that plate, Eurasian plate and Indo-Austrian plate is still colliding, because we heard that the Himalayan ranges, mountain ranges height increases every year by 1 meter. How is it happening? Because that collision is still going on. The tectonic movement will not stop as until the rotation of the earth stops, and we know that if rotation of earth stop, life will stop. So second example is landslide. Then we have avalanches. Basically this is large mass of snow and ice. Here rocks are moving, here snow and ice are moving in avalanches, right? There are glacier lake outburst, flood. So we know that because there is sudden flooding caused when water from the glacier lake burst happen, like it happened in Kedarnath. So one example is that dust storms, strong winds that lift and carry large amount of dust through the air. So these are certain natural disasters. For this national disasters, organizations are being made. National Disaster Management Authority of India, which basically deals with the pre and the post disaster things like precautions as well as the post disaster management. And this was the complete chapter about. It was just a revision. If you want a complete detail about the entire chapter, go to the same channel, and which channel I'm talking about is this. That's Deeksha Vedantu CBSE English, where we are regularly uploading everything that is needed to you, my class 9 students, because we know syllabus is changed and now you guys are worried about what will happen, with whom to study. So find the best lectures over here, figure out the best teacher and start studying, because we can't wait for CBSE to upload SST book and then study. So let's start from the starting. See, here in this channel you can see Rise of Nationalism is for class 10 bacha. Shaping of Earth's surface. Now this is the one shot of the chapter. If you want to download the PDF for what I taught right now, in the description box you will definitely find the link. And do not forget to come in my live sessions too, because we are going to practice the questions of the same chapter in the live session. See you then. Bye bye.